Welcome to AUSA's Army Matters podcast, focusing on what's important to the total Army community. We bring vital Army conversations and interviews on issues relevant to soldiers, military families, and all of you amazing Army supporters. Rotating each week, our show includes Soldier Today, Army Real Talk, Family Voices, and Thought Leaders. Let's tune into the show. Hello, listeners, and welcome to another episode of Army Real Talk, the segment part of AUSA's Army Matters podcast series. As you know, I am Nzinga Curry, AUSA's Director of Education and Programs, and I am delighted that this segment is focusing on holidays as well as the season of giving and spreading cheer. So, Lieutenant Colonel, how are you spreading cheer this year?
Ms. Curry, due to the pandemic last year, my church held its inaugural Christmas drive-through toy giveaway. We were able to bless over 200 less fortunate children, so with this new endeavor, this is one of the ways that my family and I will be spreading cheer this year. Thank you for asking.
You know, that aligns on the conversation that we are about to have, because many businesses, organizations, as well as individuals like you, enjoy spreading holiday joy and happiness to children and their families. And today we will highlight an Army unit that is spreading miles of smiles. I like the way that sounds, miles of smiles, through its unique way of delivering some holiday cheer through a program known as All-American Presents from Paratroopers, or A2P2. Today we will talk about what the 82nd Airborne Division is doing during this year's holiday season.
Ms. Curry, this is so awesome. All-American Presents from Paratroopers is a very unique and special way to collect toys across the state of North Carolina. What a phenomenal way for Army soldiers to express gratitude to the community by giving back to them. I'm looking forward to today's podcast with our special guest for this segment, Master Sergeant Burnett, the non-commissioned officer in charge from the Public Affairs Office of the 82nd Airborne Division. Welcome to Army Real Talk, Master Sergeant Burnett. Back over to you, Ms. Curry. It's time to get real.
Yes, it is. So, Master Sergeant Burnett, thank you so much for joining us today. And I ask that you tell us a little bit about yourself as well as your current role and position.
Ms. Curry, thanks for having me. Again, I'm Alex Burnett. I'm the Public Affairs Non-Commissioned Officer in charge for the 82nd Airborne Division. I've been in this position for about 2.5 years now, and I'm really happy to be on the segment today.
Excellent. Please tell us a little bit about the All-American Presents from Paratroopers and what it entails.
So All-American Presents from Paratroopers was conceived in 2019 after we found out that the Randy Oler Memorial Toy Drop would no longer be happening on Fort Bragg, North Carolina. So the 82nd Airborne Division, after realizing that we wouldn't have this outstanding way to give back to the local community and get our paratroopers some foreign jump wings, decided to take it upon themselves and start A2P2. What it entails is the division gets jump master teams from other countries to come to Fort Bragg, jump with our paratroopers, giving them the chance to earn the coveted foreign jump wings. And in order to be a part of this event, our paratroopers give one toy back to the community.
Master Sergeant Burnett, not only does this program deliver so much needed happiness to the kids, but it also promotes the well-being of the family unit and the community as a whole. How long has the 82nd Airborne Division been conducting this event?
So once again, we started in 2019, so this year will be our third year running this event.
How many toys are collected and distributed throughout this event?
Well, every year we've been fortunate to get just a little bit bigger. So the first year we had about 600 parachutes. I think we collected about 1,000 toys. The second year we upped that to about 800 parachutes, and we collected close to 1,800 toys. This year, since we have nearly 1,000 parachutes to give out to paratroopers from across Fort Bragg, we're hoping to see an even bigger increase in the number of toys that we gather for the surrounding community.
We will continue discussing the 82nd Airborne Division A2P2 program after this. Join AUSA, the Army's premier professional association and host of the largest land power exposition in the United States. AUSA is open to everyone, including all ranks and components. So whether you have a relationship with the U.S. Army or simply want to honor those who serve, you can learn more at www.ausa.org/join.
Master Sergeant Burnett, I know that all toys have to be new, but is there a dollar amount or dollar range that each toy should be in?
Sir, we don't put a price minimum on the toy that our paratroopers give. We just ask that it be new, and those toys, once they're collected, will be turned over to the Travis Mills Foundation, who will help us send those toys to various charity organizations.
As a soldier myself and a paratrooper, is there a way that I can contribute or donate a toy to support All American Presence from paratroopers? And if so, how?
Well, sir, if you can get yourself on some jump orders and come on down to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, I will happily stand in line with you and donate our toys together and wait for the lottery to hopefully give us one of those coveted parachutes so we can jump out of a perfectly good aircraft.
So what about an Army brat? And well, unfortunately, not a paratrooper, but I have jumped out the plane once. Could I participate? No, I'm kidding. I'm truly kidding. But I would like to know how many soldiers annually participate to ensure the success of this program.
Every year, paratroopers from across the division come together to ensure that this mission is a success. Everyone from the division headquarters with our G3 or operations air shop down to our jump master teams who make sure that everything goes safely within the aircraft. And then, of course, we have the thousands of paratroopers across Fort Bragg who'll come out and wait in line to donate their toys and hopefully get a chance at earning those foreign jump wings.
That is awesome and exciting, and it sounds like it's a really big event. So does the division do this by themselves, or is the division supported by other organizations, foundations, or nonprofits?
The division works very closely with the Travis Mills Foundation, who was actually a member of the 82nd Airborne Division, who is actually our first ever quadruple amputee. His foundation works with other nonprofits from across the state of North Carolina to ensure that those presents go to those families who are in need this year.
Master Sergeant Burnett, what a phenomenal way to show kindness, selfless service, and charity by giving toys to children in need that may not otherwise have them. If you had just 1 minute, can you share with our listeners the impact that you've seen personally of All American Presence for paratroopers and what it means to the community?
Sir, I'm not sure I can keep it to just 1 minute, but I will try. So from the paratroopers who wait in line to donate their toys with smiles on their faces, to the folks from the Travis Mills Foundation who show up and collect the large trucks of toys to be driven across North Carolina, to some of the children that I've seen pick up toys from this operation, I can tell you that it is a wonderful event that is just filled with smiling faces.
This is such a feel-good program that has a little added bonus with the excitement of jumping out of a plane. So before we close, I would like to know, are there any final thoughts that you would like to share with our listeners?
I'd like to thank the Travis Mills Foundation for working with us again this year to ensure that these toys do go out and that we provide a little bit of extra cheer to all of those families in need in North Carolina. And for any soldiers who are out there who are thinking about maybe going to airborne school, just know that if you do come to the 82nd Airborne Division, you too can be part of this great organization and this great program.
Excellent. Well, Master Sergeant Burnett, I thank you for joining us today on Army Real Talk. We salute the 82nd Airborne Division for this program, which strengthens the community through this unique event of spreading joy and honoring the many children and families that are served during the holiday season. I thank you again and have a great Army Day.
As the SFAB units we've adopted in 2021 wrap up their deployments, we're bringing you an update from one of them, the 3rd Security Force Assistance Brigade, also known as 3rd SFAB. They want to thank you, our podcast listeners, and AUSA for telling their story. The highest standard, the only standard. 3rd SFAB received accolades from general officers, foreign embassies, and foreign security forces partners for its first recently completed 6-month force package deployment to Central Command's area of operation. Force packages consist of 20 small advisory teams made up of soldiers trained in the areas of cross-cultural communication, building rapport, and working with interpreters. The 3rd SFAB advisors went into some of the toughest environments with the understanding that they are the ambassadors and representatives of our nation. Their actions are invaluable to building relationships and establishing rapport. The 20 advisory teams conducted missions to advise, support, and assess across 10 countries spanning the Middle East and Central Asia, to include Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, UAE, Uzbekistan, and Afghanistan. Highlights of the missions include advising during the Bright Star, which is a combined and joint training exercise conducted in Egypt, strengthening defense relationships and building partner capacity during the Inferno Creek exercise, and strengthening military-to-military relationships during the Iron Union exercise in UAE to address regional security challenges. 3rd SFAB has an amazing impact across the force and our partners worldwide. I'd also like to thank the families of the 3rd SFAB soldiers for their continuous support for their advisors and the rest of the Security Forces Assistance Command enterprise. They are an exceptional support network that enables the 3rd SFAB to be successful in every mission. We at AUSA thank 3rd SFAB for taking us along on their deployment journey and wish them the best. Links to previous episodes featuring them are in the show notes.
To all our listeners, thanks for joining us. Be sure to subscribe to the Army Matters podcast on iTunes and everywhere podcasts are found. The Army Matters podcast series is brought to you by the Association of the United States Army, the U.S. Army's professional association, member-supported, Army-connected. Visit us at ausa.org for more information or to become a member. Your membership helps AUSA continue to carry out its mission to educate, inform, and connect with the total Army, our industry partners, and our supporters of a strong national defense. For questions or to provide topic recommendations, email us at podcast@ausa.org. Have a great Army Day. Hua.